Jesus, I have a click track on my Logic file. My God, that was loud in my ears.
No, lordy.
You're listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
File access granted.
All right, guys, you ready?
Ready.
All right.
Are you guys getting infested with cicada? This is just the side note. Do you guys
Not
have
yet.
a shitload of cicadas up there?
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet. That
Okay,
doesn't
yeah,
happen.
I think they move north.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, my house is fucking infested, and I just saw one flying. Into
They're
my
inside.
window.
Jesus Christ.
Not inside. No, not inside, but they're
Oh.
fucking swarming my window right now.
Gracious. Ours don't come
Really
until like
cool.
July or August.
Yeah.
So
Which is going to be really interesting when we because with July we'll probably be recording like December episodes. You'll be
Yeah, that's gonna be
cicadas
really-
in the background of these Christmas episodes.
What the hell?
It'll be really fun. Yeah.
we'll replace it
It's
with
the
Jingle
snow.
Bells. It's the snow. The snow is really falling
it's the
hard.
magic of winter falling.
The singing of
This is what the new
Snow.
Jingle Bells are.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
Essy can
honestly
go
just
and replace
jealous.
it with bells. Yeah.
I'm just jealous of cicadas because all their entire life cycle is scream, fuck, die. I mean, it's a good life.
It is.
Welcome, all you believers, idealists, skeptics, and all those who question the universe around them. I am Essy.
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Ty, and this is Cult Talk Conspiracy, a little special bonus file to wrap up season 2. 2
Yes.
years.
Two whole
of
years.
this. Yeah.
Two
we
whole
have,
years.
and if you don't recognize the voice, Essy is our very helpful, very talented editor of Cult Talk Conspiracy.
Hi.
Oh, they recognize his voice.
Yeah.
Oh, they know.
I've
He's
edited
peeked in.
myself into enough things
Yeah.
for them to know.
Snuck in a few times.
My favorite one. I don't remember where it's at. I think it's a Culttaber episode that's getting ready to come. But Essy has a very big comeback for Cold Allures Ben about Canadians.
Oh no,
Oh,
that
that's
was
right.
Yeah.
It was a
Is that
movie
not out yet?
review. I can't remember.
I thought that was for last year.
I think it was last year. Yeah.
My brain is totally scattered today, guys. I'm here. I am here. Okay. It's been a very eventful 24 hours for Bailey over here. We're not going to get into it because that'll be a whole other episode, but I'm happy to be here. I'll just leave it at that.
I've also had a very eventful last couple days with an 18-hour flight. And then yesterday, I dumbly decided to get my kneecap tattooed. So I am feeling interesting right now.
OMG. So you were just like, yeah, this 18-hour flight,
Look,
is not going to be a big deal.
I needed something to keep me awake. And boy, does that do it.
I fucking bet, man. Oh man, I got a bum tattoo, and when they were getting towards my hip, I was like, I'm ready to punch this girl. It was not
absolutely.
fun. So I can only. Did you get your whole knee covered?
Oh, yeah. Here, I'll show you on the... You can't really... Oh, Jesus.
Oh goodness! Oh, it's so pretty.
Oh, that is.
It looks great. But man, that was a horrible 2 hours.
Oh
We'll
no!
have to show it off.
I was going to get the back of my knee done at the same time.
Nope.
And the artist was just like, I'm not putting you through both. So I'm
No,
going back
we're not
in 2.5
doing that.
weeks to finish up the whole wraparound.
Your artist had to be your own advocate. You're like, we're
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna. You think you want this, but you don't. So
no.
we think we're tougher than we actually are sometimes. That's okay.
Yeah. And I know how pathetic I am most of the time.
Oh no!
Well, I've had a pretty
All right,
nice
well, I
morning.
guess-
I had coffee and walked the dog. So
Yeah, Ty's great this morning. Ty's awesome. Ty is like, thank God one of us is.
I should have probably led that one.
Yeah.
No. I think ending on the positive because now we're all laughing. We're having a good time. We're ready
Yeah,
to get
there
into
you
the
go.
episode. It's all smiles. It's all
For
fucking
you.
jokes, bud.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Essy is doing it. He did it last year. Essy surprised us. Him and his dad got on, did a very good episode about the stellar sea monkey, and we decided this year let's have him on. And he has had this this episode in the chamber for I think years.
Yeah. Since it was originally going to be a Cult Talk Weird Shit, and that show doesn't even exist anymore. So
Wait,
I'm
Well-
shoehorning.
Oh well.
Yeah, I'm shoehorning it in here because it's not really like a conspiracy. There is a finale to it, and
We
it
can-
is just it's a heist story. It's the Great Canadian Maple Syrup Heist of 2011/2012.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So
I'm so
Yeah,
I mean, we just had to.
This is based on a true story, right? This isn't
Yeah.
something you wrote in.
Oh,
like
this is a very real
during
thing.
a red eye or something. Like,
No, this is in true Canadian fashion. This is the highest monetary value heist in Canadian history, and it's fucking maple syrup.
That is amazing. That is
So,
absolutely amazing. It
there was
wasn't
one that
drugs.
No.
It
There was
wasn't
one that came
weapons.
Very close in 2019 or 2020. That was a gold heist, but adjusted for inflation, the maple syrup heist is worth more.
Oh
Jesus
wow, that liquid gold right there.
yeah,
that liquid fucking gold, and we'll get into just how much raw maple syrup costs.
Ooh,
But you
in just a
said
little bit.
you brought something special for this episode.
What?
You had something special for us to do this episode?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So before we get into it, because my episodes are not that long because I don't have the time, we're going to start with Canadian words and phrases, and I want you guys to define them for me. They're going to start pretty easy. They're going to get weirder as we go,
Oh, geez.
but you guys are
Here we
gonna nail it. So this is my list of Canadian words. Number 1 is pencil crayons.
is it that colored pencils?
Yeah, they're just colored pencils. I
Pencil
didn't know that they were
crayons.
called something else until I was working in a first grade classroom and said, go get your pencil crayons. And these first graders made fun of me relentlessly. So
Kids
that's
are
how I learned that you
awesome.
guys said something different in the States.
Kids are
I mean,
great.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
It really
Yeah,
does.
easy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like I said,
I didn't want
start
to
easy.
answer it because it seemed just too obvious. I was
Too
like,
obvious.
yeah.
But it's weird enough to be like, why is there a difference at
Yeah.
all?
Yeah.
Yeah. This next word is toque.
Toque?
Oh, I have no idea. A bird?
Toque.
A bird?
TOQUE.
Is it another word for took? Like you took something?
No.
Mm.
It is what Canadians call, or what you guys say, a beanie is. A
Oh,
knit cap.
Oh, I like that better.
just a
That's
little toque.
cute.
yeah.
It's a toque.
This next one
Or a
sounds
toboggan.
like a slur, and I promise you it's not.
Okay.
Homo milk.
Well, that's what Ty drinks.
yeah, that's what I drink. That's what caused my affliction.
Yep.
That's what happened.
I had a bad glass of homo milk and
And it
look
just
at me
sent you
now.
off.
It just,
sent me down this downward spiral into sin. Milk? I mean, some like homogenated milk or something?
Is it
Yep,
just plain milk?
homogenated or whole milk, but we just call it homo milk.
Hey,
Instead of whole milk, it's homo milk,
It's homo milk.
I prefer that.
I love it. I
Start
love
using
it.
isn't it?
Yeah. Very inclusive.
All right, this next one is a Mickey. What is a Mickey?
It's a drug that girl and guys should stay away from in the clubs. I don't
In
think
the
that's
US,
what
yes.
Canadians in the US.
No different. Okay.
A Mickey.
I have no idea.
I don't
No idea.
know.
All right, it is a flask of alcohol, a 375 milliliter of alcohol.
A Mickey.
That's oddly
It's
specific.
a
Why is it so
Mickey.
specific for that?
If you, well, that's just you can get that size bottle at liquor
Ah,
stores.
okay,
So
okay.
you just go, oh, I'm just going to grab a Mickey.
Oh, That's
Talk
cute.
about me and the guys, we were fucking drinking Mickeys out by the fucking ocean there. It was a good fucking time. Next word, garburator.
Oh, Jesus Christ. A carburetor.
What is a garburator? Also, if you want me to use it in a sentence at all,
Can I have it in a
You can use it in a
sentence?
Yeah.
so, this morning my roommate woke me up because he turned the garburator on.
Light fan?
It's a garbage disposal in the sink,
Oh,
That'd be
a
Which
garburator.
very few Canadian houses actually have.
Really? A
Very
garbage
strange
disposal.
to me when I moved down here, and just every apartment, every house
Mhm.
had them.
Mhm.
Very strange.
Yeah, it's weird to not
Uh,
have them down here in the US.
Yeah.
So the next one is two candies, and I want you guys to give what is the closest thing to these candies, like the American versions. So we have Smarties and we have Rockets.
Rockets, is that... No, I'm thinking of something. I think of Rocklets. I was going to say, wasn't that M&M's? But, so we have Smarties here, right? We have Smarties. They're
Those are
little-
like the little,
little pills. Little
like the chalk
powder
candies.
pills. Yeah, little
So-
chalk pills.
What you guys call Smarties is what we call Rockets.
What is it?
And then what Smarties are the Canada's version of M&Ms.
It is
Thicker
M&Ms.
candy
Okay.
coating and
Okay.
chocolate.
Yeah, 'cause
Smarties
I
are
think
similar to
Jack is-
M&Ms, and Rockets are what you guys call Smarties. very
Okay.
confusing. Also, Rockets / American Smarties are trash. What a terrible candy that is.
I remember like
Maybe that's
the
just me,
dollar
like, eating
stores
chalk.
used to sell like M&Ms. I think they were called like rockers or
Mhm.
rocklets. So that's what I was thinking of because I know
Yeah.
they're fucking awful.
I was thinking of like the rock candies that like pop in your mouth.
Oh, those are great. Pop Rocks?
Yes, those.
Those are
Mhm.
crack for children. Those are awesome.
We weren't allowed to have them as kids, so I didn't get to have one until like I was like in high school or something. And like I just
Were
remember
your
it was
parents
weird.
afraid your stomach would explode? Remember that old,
My
like,
my
urban
parents were just
legend?
strict parents, man. Like there was a lot of crap I wasn't allowed to do just because I had strict parents. That was just no was no.
Wasn't that the urban legend? Like you swallow Pop Rocks and your stomach will like explode.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think so.
I mean, the science sounds correct.
Science is sound.
So,
Sound science right there.
all right.
That
Next
was
word
fun.
is a 2-4. What is a
2-4?
2-4?
A 2x4.
Nope.
Damn.
This is Canada. Think alcohol.
Damn.
A 2-4. Is it
Hey, you guys
is
might
it
not
240
anyway.
ounces?
Yeah.
It's a 24 pack of beer.
Wow.
damn.
Let's go and grab a 2-4.
Oh.
A 24 pack.
The next one, it's pretty common to just say hydro, but it's a hydro bill.
Is that a
But
car?
You just call it hydro.
Your water bill?
You would think water bill, but so much
Yeah.
of Canada's electricity comes from hydro dams that paying your hydro bill is actually paying your electricity bill.
Oh wow. Oh, that's cool.
So that's kind of a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Next word is toboggan.
and that's not the actual toboggan.
Like a cap?
Like a hat?
So, no, not a cap. It's a sled. Like if you're going
that's
sledding. You go on your toboggan.
See, in America, toboggan is like a beanie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we call it a tooth.
It's a
Wow.
sled.
It's just very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hear people
That
talking about like, oh yeah, I put on a
That
toboggan.
whole
and I was like, what
country
the
of
fuck are you
yours is
talking
just flipped
about?
on its fucking head. I don't know. Where
You
do you guys come up with this stuff? It's like
Who knows? We're just
it's some
fun.
kind of like Wizard of Oz land up there.
Isn't it
They
great?
just-
Listen, y'all ain't no better up here in the north because I remember because I'm from the south but I remember my first retail job I ever had. They told me, okay, go out and sweep the front rugs. And I'd never heard a vacuum be called a sweeper before. So I went and I grabbed a broom and I was like, okay, they told me to sweep the rugs. I guess I'm going to take this broom and sweep the rugs. And then my manager looks on the cameras and he was like, oh my God, this girl.
This dumb
then they-
southerner.
This
What the
dumb
hell?
girl. And then they came out and they brought me the vacuum cleaner and they're like, this is what we meant by sweep the rugs. And I said, yeah, but you said sweep and broom. And they're like, yeah, but this is a sweeper. And I said, that is a vacuum.
Yeah, I've never heard that one before. That's a new one.
Yeah.
yeah.
That was a thank God you're pretty moment,
Right.
in all honesty.
All right. This next one is an order. You would order this at a store, a double-double.
That's a sandwich.
A shot.
A double-double is a coffee or tea with 2 creams and 2 sugars.
Oh, I like that. A double. I like that.
Nice.
So especially at Tim Hortons, you go up and you just ask for a double-double. It's a coffee, 2 creams, 2 sugars.
Of course.
Do they know that in America, Tim Hortons? American Tim Hortons, I mean?
I mean, if you found an American or a Tim Hortons in the U.S., because you guys have one kind of near you.
We have one everywhere. Yeah,
There's
they're
one
everywhere.
every
here.
There's one coming to Nashville in 2025, and I am going to support that place so much. It's going to be fucking ridiculous.
Oh.
I can't wait. Another thing you would order is a Timbit. What is a Timbit?
Yeah, the little donut holes.
Donut holes. Yeah, if you guys have Tim
Yeah.
Hortons there,
Yeah, we got those. Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah, there's like 2 Tim Hortons there in Chillicothe, or one, right, Bailey?
I've got one on each side of town. It's great.
Yeah, okay, you got 2, yeah.
God,
Mhm.
maybe I should go back up there soon, just for
Yep.
the Tim Hortons.
It's right
Yeah,
beside my
just for the-
house.
Yeah, I'll come stay
We,
with you.
Okay, that's fine.
we didn't take you to like Tim Hortons the whole time we
I
went there,
did.
or-
Bailey did.
Did you?
I
Oh,
did.
okay.
I came prepared. I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
okay.
taking you to Tim Hortons. Don't worry. Like,
She
we're going.
rocks. She's my
Aw.
favorite.
Aw. So
I'm
special.
sorry. I didn't think of it.
All right. Next word is a Winnipeg handshake. What is a Winnipeg handshake?
That sounds sexual. Is it
It's
sexual?
the
Brother.
same thing.
If this is a sexual thing for you guys, I am concerned.
I have no idea what it could be.
Is it a handshake with just gloves on?
Nope. A Winnipeg handshake is a stabbing.
What?
Winnipeg has
Jesus
the
Christ.
highest murder and crime rate in Canada with a lot of stabbings. So a Winnipeg handshake is just getting stabbed.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
gosh. It's like the Glasgow smile.
Exactly.
Like-
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This one might have made it into the States, especially if you've seen Letterkenny or any of those TV shows. But a dart. What is a dart?
Oh, I've heard that one before.
Isn't that a cigarette?
That's a cigarette.
Okay.
Which sounds way better than the British version of, "Oi, mate, can I bum a fag?" That sounds awful. Instead,
I'm
just say,
offended.
"I'm going to go rip a
I'm
dart."
shocked and appalled right now.
Right, exactly. Fucking Brits. Look, you
You
guys,
come onto my show and you say,
you guys might
Coming
hate
into my
Canadians, but we can
house.
start
all
dropping
hate the
slurs.
British.
Yeah,
homo
we can
milk,
all hate them.
bum a fag. This next one
Yeah.
is mostly just central Canada, so it's not actually used everywhere. But a bunny hug. What is a bunny hug?
That sounds sexual.
That does sound sexual. That sounds a little intimate.
Oh, I do have a section slightly farther that is all these things sound sexual but aren't.
Oh
But
gosh.
Jesus.
We're already there. A
Yeah.
bunny hug? Is it an actual hug or is it like a bear hugger? Like
Like
what they
cuddling,
use?
maybe?
It's a hooded sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, because it's got a little hood on it.
It's a bunny
Aw,
hug. That's mostly used in like Alberta and I think Saskatchewan. But
that's cute.
I'm gonna
I like
skip some
that
because I'm
one.
realizing how many I fucking got this morning.
You just went on a tangent.
What's
You're
a
just-
hoser?
What is it?
A hoser.
A hoser?
Oh, isn't that a person from America, like an American, or no?
Not
it is a
necessarily.
hoser.
We could definitely call American a hoser.
I've heard the term. Like I've seen it in like Strange Brew. I heard it in Strange Brew and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like
But-
our version of calling someone a hillbilly.
Okay.
Call them a hoser.
Hoser. You're just a
Uh,
hoser.
All right, I'm gonna skip the rest of these, and we're gonna go into locations.
Okay.
Where is Hogtown?
Hogtown.
I do have a hint for this one.
Okay.
If you can't get it. So another name for it is the GTA, or as one famous Canadian calls it, the Six.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Is that are we
Like
talking about,
locations
places?
in Canada.
Yep, it's a city.
I'm going to be. I'm terrible at geography.
Yeah.
So Drake calls it the Six. It is Toronto, which
Okay.
him calling it the Six makes me so mad because he called it
Why?
the Six because originally the two area codes both had a 6 in it. So he called it the Six, but now there's a third area code that doesn't have a 6 in it and they still call it the Six. And also Hogtown is way cooler. Like
That
what are
is.
we doing?
That is.
All right, so these next three are the ones that are sound dirty but aren't because they're just locations.
Okay.
Where's the Peg?
Winnipeg.
Winnipeg is called the Peg. Great name. O-Town.
My hometown?
Ontario.
O-Town. After visiting the Peg, you can go to O-Town.
Ontario, right?
It's Ottawa, Ontario.
Ah.
Oh.
What city has the slogan, "The city that rhymes with fun"?
Saskatchewan. I don't know.
Regina.
Regina.
Regina is the city that rhymes with fun.
Regina. Oh my god.
That's fun.
That's great.
We're on to
Oh, my
the
goodness.
last couple here. Gastown. Do you know where Gastown is?
Is that Vancouver?
That is Vancouver. Or Van
Oh,
City.
that was a total I
Fucking
pulled that out of
nailed
my
it.
ass, man.
What I learned,
I
there
was thinking
is.
of Mad
I've heard
Max.
some people call it the Couve, which has made me. It sounds like someone throwing up,
The
and it makes me sick. And I didn't know until this morning, as I was doing research, that only that Americans call Vancouver the Couve because Vancouver, Washington, is called the Couve. So they also use it for Vancouver, Canada. And fuck that. That it sounds absolutely disgusting. If you say the Couve, that is gross. We do also have a Sin City, and that's Montreal. That was a Prohibition era term.
Okay.
Not quite as fun as Las Vegas, but Montreal.
Nice. Nice.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to actually get into the meat and potatoes of the episode?
I am. I'm ready to unseal this little bonus file here to wrap up season 2 of Cult Talk Conspiracy.
Oh, let's fucking wrap it up, bud. Here we fucking go. Okay, so over several months spanning between 2011 and 2012, nearly 3,300 tons of maple syrup was stolen from a maple syrup reserve in Quebec. These reserves hold 77% of the global maple syrup supply. So, to get into your heads how much that might be worth, you guys want to take a guess as to how much maple syrup is worth by the barrel? And in 2011, just for context, oil by the barrel was $95.
Oh, wow.
So let's see, like maple syrup, that's like a couple bucks a bottle, right? I imagine you can probably fit a few thousand of those in there. So I'm gonna say about $2,000 a barrel.
Okay.
I'm going to go low.
Oil is $95, and you're saying a barrel of maple syrup is $2,000?
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Bailey?
I was over here like,
I'm gonna say 75 bucks. 75 bucks for a barrel. I'm gonna say it's close to oil.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to say it's at least $100 because like that is like a huge thing in Canada too.
Yep. I didn't mean to completely deter you because you were very close on your first guess, Ty.
Really?
It was about $1,900 a barrel.
Jesus.
Whoa.
Jesus.
So,
gee whiz. Someone needs to figure out how to run cars on maple syrup.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly.
So, by stealing 3,300 tons of maple syrup at $1,900 a barrel, that is adjusted for inflation, $21.7 million worth of maple syrup was stolen.
Jesus Christ.
$18.7 million at the time.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was, like I said, biggest heist in Canada's history, and that's not a small amount of money.
Good Lord, no.
And it's all in maple syrup.
At the time, $18 million.
Yeah, almost 19 million.
Someone is having an aneurysm when they discover that this is missing.
Did you guys see, like, very recently, I think it was here in the United States, over in California, that, like, the gold reserve or, what was it, the Federal Reserve out in California got robbed, like, over Easter weekend.
That's not
awesome.
shocking.
When
they, like, they didn't realize it until, like, the next day, like, someone had cut a hole in the side of the building.
It just happened over Easter style, robbed.
Yeah, like Looney Tunes style. Yeah, it was.
That's awesome.
It just happened like over Easter weekend when there was hardly anyone working. What was it? I think it was gold or cash. Let's see, Easter Sunday heist in California. Yeah, it was at the. Shit, I don't know where it was. It was $30 million in cash got stolen in San Fernando Valley. It was a money storage facility.
Oh,
San Fernando, and they found it the next day. They were like doing their little checks, and they just found there was a fucking hole in the side of the building where someone just cut a hole and it took $30 million.
Did they just like put a poster over it to cover it, like Shawshank Redemption?
Nope. Nope.
That's crazy.
Somebody got fired after Easter. That was bad.
That's almost as much. That's more than what was
That's
stolen
more than the maple syrup.
Isn't that crazy? That is insane.
Oof.
Yeah, your casual Easter heist was our biggest heist ever. Americans do it bigger.
Well, I mean, this is maple syrup. This had to be a lot more, I guess, taxing to get out of. These are barrels of maple syrup.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'm going to talk about it a bit later, but a barrel weighs almost 600 pounds. So
Jesus Christ!
Oh my gosh!
That shit's dense.
It's heavy.
Right, but a quick history of maple syrup. Maple sap has been harvested in eastern Canada since well before European settlers. Native people used to harvest it, and they even were the ones that taught the French how to do the same. So it's a long tradition well before us dumb white folk showed up. So in 1966, a group of people in Quebec started what would later become the Federation of the Quebec Maple Syrup Producers. They maintain a strategic reserve of maple syrup across several warehouses in rural Quebec. The Quebec maple syrup producers set annual quotas for their producers, and they oversee production and sales. This is pretty important because maple syrup's value is highly dependent on its quality. For example, I recently just bought a bottle of maple syrup for $37,
Jesus
which
Christ.
I think is more than I've spent on any bottle of alcohol. Did I recently just take it to a Waffle House? Yes, because I am saddened by what the South considers syrup. Was I on a date at the time? Yes. Was she confused? Absolutely.
No.
Am I going to ruin
You
a
took your date
potential
to the Waffle
relationship
House?
over the quality of the syrup provided at an establishment? Yes, of course I am. Look,
What kind of quality could this relationship? You took the date on a Waffle House. What kind of quality and relationship are you
think
looking at
I
here?
suggested Waffle House? You think I was the one that did that? No,
She's from the
she
South.
did.
She's
She
from the
did.
South.
Exactly.
Fancy. She's like, damn, let's go somewhere fancy.
Waffle House. And then I show up.
Has good food. I mean, maybe she was hungover. We don't know the story.
We don't know. It doesn't matter to me. All I know is that I brought my $37 bottle of maple syrup because I'm not
love
putting
that.
that trash in my mouth.
I love that.
Did
Just
you
pulling
offer
out of your
her
coat
some?
pocket?
Oh, of course. I'm not a dick. I'm Canadian.
Did she take it?
She did. She liked it. It was
Okay, good,
Of
okay.
course she
Okay,
did.
there
It
we
was
go.
fucking delicious. It's actual
Mike?
maple syrup.
I think we had it when you were up here, Essy. Mike brought this like syrup he got from his friends in Canada. Well, I think they're from the opposite side of the country than you.
Yeah, I mean Eastern
But
Canada
they brought like that.
Eastern Canada is where all the maple syrup is made anyway. So if they're from that side, that's probably better.
Okay, yeah, I remember they sent him like a bottle. We had it with those pancakes I made, but that's probably the best syrup I've had.
Oh yeah, it's
outside of like Great Value brand or Aunt Jemima or whatever.
Oh god.
Wow.
Why would you say those things?
I mean, those are the only ones I've had. Those are the only ones I've had. But that stuff that Mike brought is like really fucking good shit.
Yeah, I bought a bunch. I actually have one sitting in a bag right next to me. I got like the normal breakfast maple syrup, like the amber. Then I got a darker one that I prefer, and then I also got a cedar infused maple syrup, which is absolutely delicious. And you can also just put it on vanilla ice cream.
Oh my goodness!
Is it like here in like America when you go to someone's house and they have like little like bars set up with like, oh, here's some vodka and tequila, but you go to a Canadian's house and they just have like a little like
syrup
cart of syrup.
I do have that. I don't know if that's a universally Canadian thing.
I love that.
But yes, in my case, yes.
You're on the cellar. You have like shelves of maple syrup.
A man can dream.
This is a 2013 vintage Ontario blend maple syrup.
It's been aging.
As someone who doesn't really drink, that sounds so appealing to me. To have that instead of a wine cellar.
What all can you do with maple syrup? Can you put it in drinks? Like, can you like? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can get different.
It's part of the food pyramid in Canada. I think.
It's true. Yeah, but like old fashions and like was it Manhattan? Not an old fashioned. I don't know. But yeah, you can make like a lot of alcoholic drinks that use it as a sweetener. You can put it. Actually, I've seen some people put it in red spaghetti sauce to make it a little bit sweeter.
I've heard of that.
Well, there's things actually called. I think I was going to talk about this later. Yeah, but I'll just do it now. Do you guys know what sugar shacks are?
No.
Okay.
I
so
know what a sugar shack is, but I'm sure it's not what we're talking about.
Okay. So this is like Eastern Canada out in the fields of maple trees. I guess it's not really a field, but you get it. Where they like kind of make the maple syrup. They also have these little shacks that you can go and eat food made with the maple syrup that they're making there. But yeah, they put it in everything. So it's like in bread, you can even like put it in drinks, to make it sweeter, or even just pour it directly onto the snow and then put a popsicle stick in it and roll it up like a toffee. It's delicious.
But y'all just out there in the snow making candy.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are a different breed, man.
And y'all are shooting up schools. So the next thing we're going to talk about is one of these warehouses was robbed, and they're supposing that it was by someone on the inside. So an inside job maple syrup heist. These warehouses store the maple syrup in white barrels, and they are inspected once a year. During the annual inspection, an inspector climbed a stack of barrels, and one nearly tipped over as he went to grab hold. This is surprising because the barrels of maple syrup weigh 270 kilograms, which is 595 pounds. So for it to almost tip over just because he grabbed it is pretty shocking. The inspector opened the barrels and discovered that they were empty, and later discovered that others were replaced with water. They found this out because the barrels were starting to rust, which is strange because maple syrup does not have oxidizing qualities like water does.
This took place like this was something that had taken place well before it was actually discovered then, right? For it to be rusting, like it would have to have time for that. I did a little math earlier when you was mentioning, I don't know if you do this in the episode or not, I apologize you did, but
go for it.
I know you mentioned 600 pounds per barrel.
Yeah.
And I did a little math, so 27.1 million, right? That was the dollar amount.
Yep.
Divided by 2,000. I just rounded up, $2,000. And then I times that by 600. So that was 8 million pounds.
Oh yeah. This was a month
roughly.
long thing. This was not a at once take it. It was done over a lot of time.
Wow.
So what they started figuring out was that the barrels were taken to these sugar shacks that I was talking about, and they were siphoning the syrup into their own barrels to transport, and then replacing the barrels full of water back into the reserve.
Jesus.
What they eventually started doing was getting more risky, and they would siphon the barrels at the warehouse, and that's why they were leaving them empty. They could get more done in a quicker amount of time, but then they weren't able to replace it with water.
They got lazy.
Yep. Since the barrels were replaced, no one really thought anything was missing until the empty one was found. Because you just look on all these shelves that are probably like a Costco warehouse, and you're just there's nothing missing. There's no barrels missing, but they're empty. So it was found that the stolen syrup was smuggled into Vermont and New Brunswick and sold in many small batches to legitimate distributors who did not know that the syrup was stolen. So that's how they were kind of cleaning it as they went.
Oops.
So,
and you know those distributors got it for like a higher price too, I would imagine.
Probably. Well, I don't know if you're wanting them to buy from you rather than someone else.
Yeah,
making it a little bit cheaper because you didn't pay for it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do you? And you might not know this either, and that's okay. Do you know if like they were like coming in as like a competitor for the distribution, or if they were like, "Hey, we're from such and such company. Here's your maple syrup. Here's the prize. Now give it to me."
Yeah, it doesn't say in my research that, but yeah, they were just. I mean, someone shows up with a truck full of maple syrup, you're not going to be like, "Oh, this is just some like regular dude." It's like, he's coming from somewhere, who has just barrels of maple syrup.
Barrels. The Messiah is here. He's brought maple syrup.
I would be so happy. But after like kind of learning more about this whole heist and tracking the barrels back in December of 2012, so the heist was suspected to start in 2011, police arrested 17 men related to the theft. They had a whole operation going.
I would say, to be transporting barrels, doing the whole like water replacement thing.
Oh yeah.
Hell, even like do the stuff in the warehouse where they were just choosing not to replace them. I still imagine that's a process because, syrup isn't water. It's got like high viscosity.
Yeah.
You don't just you don't just dump it in. Like, I imagine it's a whole, like, it probably takes a while to drain one of those things.
Yeah, you'd either have to probably like vacuum it out or like put another hole in and put pressurized air through it. I don't know how they would do it. But so of the 17 men, this is a French name, so excuse me. Richard Valray, maybe, was the accused ringleader. In 2017, so 5 years after he was arrested, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison and to pay a fine of $9.4 million. Oof. If the fine was not paid, he would have to serve an extra 6 years in prison.
Jesus. Did he have like a certain time he had to pay that in, or?
Not necessarily. I think probably just by the time he was supposed to be out of prison, it's either you either have to pay the money or another 6 years.
How do you do that while you're in prison? That is because I know like they have work in prison, but I've always read like it's like a really shitty like hourly rate. It's like
it's like 5
cents to the hour. Yeah, it's like
it might be different also in Canada versus the U.S. because Canada does not have privatized prisons.
Okay.
Okay.
What the fuck, America? That's a messed
I
up
know
thing.
you guys are a lot more humane than we are.
We
Like,
are.
honestly, you guys have a little more respect for like nature in general and
Yeah.
also humans in general
Yeah.
than we do. It's all about that money to us, baby.
You're
Yeah,
trash.
no, we because like in America, and I don't know if Canada does the same thing. Like the authorities like seize your assets while you're in prison. If
Yeah.
it's
So that
a
was
big,
probably
like, smuggling thing.
that would probably be a portion of the 9.4 million. But there's a little bit of a turn on that amount because the Quebec Court of Appeals thought that it was an excessive amount and reduced the amount to 1 million.
Wow.
But in 2022, the Canadian Supreme Court reverted that decision and reinstated the original 9.4 million.
Oh
and
yeah,
they're like,
they're pissed. They're
Yeah,
like,
this-
they're like, do you understand what this man did to us?
yeah,
Like,
it was
like,
maple syrup.
it was our
fucking-
livelihood.
you tapped the reserves. Are
Yeah.
you insane?
It's-
Surprised that this wasn't like this didn't end in like Canada's first like public execution or something.
Oh
Like,
god, that would be
I should
awesome.
laugh.
nationally televised beheading.
And-
They closed the schools, everything. For
Everyone is just saluting their TVs, and they're just like, "Yes,
It's like-
fucking get them."
There's a
it's like you see those videos of like the moon landing where people are just like crowded around TVs and like malls and shit. It's like that in Canada. Everyone's just like,
the
Yeah.
execution of the maple
Cheering.
syrup thief.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
I
a
would,
National Maple Syrup Remembrance Day in Canada now for
I'm
all the
not
maple syrup that was
opposed.
lost.
oh yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Like the executioner is like a lumberjack with like a Canadian flag hood, and he comes out. And he's got like a lumber axe instead of like one of those big ones. Like,
Why is this not a movie? That'd be great.
I'm surprised this isn't a movie.
Right.
Like this
So it
syrup
was
heist
actually-
thing.
It was featured on an episode of Netflix's Dirty Money. So there is,
Okay.
if you wanted to learn more, you could watch that. I probably should have watched it in doing research of this, but whoops. All right. The next person that got a pretty serious sentence and fine was Vic Caron, who was an insider whose spouse owned the warehouse, so he had access to it. So that's how it was an inside job. He served 5 years and had to pay a $1.2 million fine.
What'd the spouse get?
I don't know if the spouse was actually involved that much. So
Bullshit.
I know, but it didn't give me names of a bunch of other people. It just said others. This might have been the spouse. Others involved in the sentences got 2 years minus 1 day, followed by probation, which is a weird way to sentence someone. Not 2 years, 1 day less than 2 years.
Yeah.
And they all got
Wow.
fined about $800,000 each.
Jeez.
So in the end,
That's a lot less than what the other guy got though. $8,000. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
bad.
in the end, only 450 tons of the stolen maple syrup was recovered of the 3,300 tons that were originally stolen. So
450 out
Yeah.
of. Oh man,
So everyone
that's bad.
stand up,
How did
put a hand over your heart, salute the gods for all the lost
moment of
maple syrup.
silence?
Luckily, it wasn't just like dumped. Like people still got to enjoy it, and that's the
Yeah, they
only
used
thing
it. Yeah.
that keeps me going.
Man,
Yeah.
that would have been he would have got executed if they found out he was just like dumping it out. Just
Oh
they would have fucking they would have ripped him apart. Yeah.
Why did you say something like that?
Worse, they're just giving it to the Americans.
Ugh. I mean, they sold to the Americans, so like,
amber colored
Yeah.
tear just streaks down Essy's face. Just
it's true.
it's like that old like litter ad with the Native American looking at the litter and you see the tear. It's
Oh man, that's sad.
like he looks out into a field and they're just empty barrels of Canadian syrup and he just turns to the camera and it's just one tear.
I think Essy's gonna need a moment if you keep going down the street.
I am. Yeah, this is emotional.
So did this affect like the trade of maple syrup like at all throughout Canada, or was it like still being distributed but the right people weren't getting the profits from it?
Well, I mean, there was still a lot of maple syrup around.
Mhm.
3,300 tons was not even like close of all the reserve. That was just
Dang.
what they got from one of the warehouses from the
Oh
reserve.
wow.
And they didn't even get everything from that warehouse. So day to day, everything was going normally. But yeah, it's just that there was now less in the reserve than
Yeah.
they would have
Okay.
liked.
Okay.
Scary.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, like
What
I
if
said,
the,
it's
what if the
77.
apocalypse happens?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's 77% of the world's maple syrup is held in these reserves. So,
I'm sure they upped the security for sure after this.
oh, absolutely, yeah. It wasn't just the honor system of being Canadian. They're like, oh, fuck, bud, you're
Yeah.
Canadian? Yeah, get on in here. You work here, right? Oh, okay, good.
These warehouses are the only places that are guarded with guns in Canada. Fuck the politicians.
Yeah.
Like we are arming the reserves for maple syrup now. We have seen what can happen.
Yeah. Well,
Damn.
was the biggest heist, so
That is
Damn.
insane. And so
Yeah,
Canadian. It's
So
such a Canadian fried story.
okay, so to go a little bit more Canadian, I was really trying to, and it never panned out. I was trying to get this episode sponsored by Discover Canada as like a tourism board thing. Be like, you don't have to pay us any money. I just need it to be like an official real thing.
Yeah, I
And
just want to put a little bumper here.
there was too much like bureaucracy and paperwork and all that to get no money out of it. So I was just like, it's fine. But I was thinking that would be really funny for me to like have a stop and be like, all right, I have an ad read.
Like, hang on, guys, real quick. Is there a maple syrup cartel in Canada? Is that what this is?
I mean, that's
Is that
basically
what this is a part of? Here, this.
I don't know
Oh,
if it's
my
continuing,
goodness.
but I guess technically for a little bit, yes, there was.
Oh my god, I love it! Freaking maple syrup cartel.
Yeah,
I love it. It's so innocent sounding, but like they are like 110% serious. Like this literally is liquid gold.
Yeah.
So that is.
I mean, have you ever just drank an entire bottle of maple syrup and it gets you just as hyped as cocaine? So
I found there's a very easy way to tell fake maple syrup from real maple syrup.
Tastes like shit, or
that. Well, then there's also when you look on the bottle, there should only be one ingredient.
yes.
Any more than one ingredient is a clear sign that it is not true, genuine maple syrup.
Yeah, go onto the back of that Aunt Jemima bottle and try and pronounce that
Sure.
shit.
I've got one in my fridge. I'm about to go grab it.
Go get it.
Okay. I'm coming right back. I'm coming back, guys. Hang on. I'm moving a little slower, but hang on. Old lady's moving.
Here,
so there is a maple syrup cartel in Canada, but it is a government sanctioned organization. So
that's awesome.
It's a cartel, but it's actually the government supports it, and it's made up of over 10,000 maple syrup producers in Quebec, and it has the monopoly sale on maple syrup in Canada. So,
oh yeah, I guess
it is a cartel.
I guess that's what I was talking about with the what were they called? The Federation of Quebec Maple Syrup Producers. Oh, she's got it. Here, I'm also going to go grab a bottle, and then we can compare.
Oh, okay. I like this. This is good content.
Oh, he's grabbing his.
Yeah, he's grabbing his.
There we go.
I just want to
So we
know,
can compare.
how sad is it that I didn't have to leave my room to
Yeah,
grab
you
a
just
bottle
reach
of
right
maple
over.
syrup?
Like across the house. Like,
Nope, right here.
It'd been funny if you just had it in your pocket, like just like hang on, just like pull it out, like.
Well, the one that's opened is in
All
the
right.
fridge, but this one I just have.
All right, Essy, what's the ingredients on your little jug of maple syrup that you have in your hand?
it's so cute.
You know what? I'm not even seeing an ingredients list
Because they're like,
I bet there's not even really need for it. It's like,
because it is just maple syrup. It is
you
pure
already
maple
know,
syrup.
man.
what do you got on yours, Bailey? What's yours, Reed?
Essie's about to cry.
I'm sure it's more than one.
So the first ingredient is
first
corn
count
syrup.
count how many ingredients there are in it, and then read them out.
Go and see. I don't eat pancakes enough or waffles enough to have
You don't need
maple
'em.
syrup in. Yeah.
Put it on ice cream.
Yeah. Oh, I bet that would be good.
Vanilla ice cream with a little bit of syrup. It's delicious.
Yeah.
So we
I
have
do like
13
that
ingredients.
13
Oh my
ingredients.
god,
Wow.
that's 12 more than there should be.
Yeah.
So the first ingredient is corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup,
And
water.
I was reading that's pretty much what all American maple syrup is. It's just
high fructose
corn syrup.
Yeah,
It's
just
yeah.
so bad.
Terrible.
And then we have psyllium scum,
Sure.
salt, natural artificial flavor, caramel color.
How does that make sense? How can you
Sodium
put natural
benzoate.
artificial flavor? That makes no fucking sense. How do you put that?
Is it
oil
like
on?
natural / artificial?
Natural and artificial.
Okay, I was gonna say. I was like, what kind of American bureaucracy bullshit? They're like, no, wait, it's naturally artificial.
It's like what they're doing with the meat now, and they're like some scientific materials are contained
Yes,
in this
yeah.
product. Is fucking disgusting. There is salt in this.
What's the sodium level in that?
Sodium 50 milligrams, 2%
Jesus
sodium.
Christ. Why?
Yep.
Why? Yeah. What the hell?
There's a really big word I can't pronounce.
That's
It's like
always good for food.
Yeah, exactly.
Hexametaphosphate.
Well, I'll tell you what, it sounds healthy.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
I'm glad I'm getting my daily dose of hexaphosphate.
You can't,
I
can't go too long without it.
Yeah, I heard some scientists are concerned that people aren't getting enough.
And then, of course, at the bottom, like we were literally just talking about, contains bioengineered food ingredients.
Man, well, I'm glad I'm getting those.
Just so you guys know, American maple syrup is probably not the best for you.
Yeah.
What was that last one? What was it? What was the wording on that last one again? Bioengineered?
Bioengineered food ingredients.
Man,
Healthy.
love the sound of that.
So I have this picture that I'm going to try and just show my camera. So I recently went to a maple syrup farm where I was learning more about this because that's what I do on my time off, my very limited time off.
When Essy retires, he's going to become a maple syrup farmer.
Oh my God, that sounds awesome. Just live in a little log cabin out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just go on hikes through my maple tree farm. Oh my
And
gosh.
you're just going to send me maple syrup. That way I never have to eat that shit again.
Where I'm from, there's down here in Ohio, there is or up here in Ohio, I guess wherever you're at, but there's a few maple farmers I know. Like you go on their property and it's just like all their trees, and they have like these like lines going like this like crazy matrix of just lines and tubes. Yeah,
it's great.
Tree.
But this was the vat that I got shown, and it's green, which I didn't realize that it came out like the sap was just green, and then when it's boiled down, that's when it turns into the amber color.
Ooh.
Oh wow! You guys send us these pictures I'll post these on social media for everyone to see.
I will.
Yeah, so definitely doesn't sound like we're getting true Canadian maple syrup in our diet with these bottles from Walmart.
Vermont also makes excellent maple syrup. So even if you get proper Vermont,
so there is made in the U.S. maple syrup we can get if you want to be one of those people.
Yeah, that I will put my stamp of approval on, the Canadian stamp of approval on proper Vermont maple syrup. I think Maine has some, but Vermont's the place.
I say we need to get you a sticker, like in gas stations. I don't know if you guys do this in Canada, but in gas stations you can see like the county auditor seal on gas pumps. We need to get you a sticker that says approved by Riley Essler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Canadian.
that. Yeah, we definitely need to get that.
Oh, and I don't just hand those out.
No,
we should do
I inspect.
Yes.
If we'd have thought about it beforehand, we should have had you like give a list of like your top 3 maple syrups.
That would have been good.
Top 3 maple syrups.
I don't want to put you on the spot. Yeah.
I mean,
he knows.
No. I don't know.
Looks over to a shelf. Looks over to a shelf.
Yes.
It's like a bar where he has like top shelf. These
are you talking like brands, or are you talking?
What would your like? Is that a thing?
Well,
or I guess it's just maple syrup, right?
A lot of the maple syrup I get is from like local farms, so you can only buy their maple syrup really like directly through them. A maple syrup that is pretty good, that's easily accessible. Costco actually has some pretty decent like Kirkland brand maple syrups that are 100%.
Okay.
So that you might be able to do, but I don't have a top 3 just because they're all local farms. But if you can get it in a can, if you get it in like an aluminum can.
That's what you told me when you were up here and we had pancakes or whatever. You had mentioned that like best maple syrup comes in like a can.
A can is great. A glass bottle is also really good.
Mm-hmm.
tends to be if it comes from a good place. But yeah, I don't have a top three. But the one I have is like similar to the one you had in your hand, that little like vanilla colored jug.
Right.
Yeah, it's very similar to that the one I have in my fridge.
So this is my grade A dark color maple syrup. the amber is what normal breakfast syrup is. This one's a bit darker, and it has it's less sweet and definitely has a stronger maple flavor, and I think it is delicious. But the one I have open right now is my cedar infused one. So I'm not opening this bad boy up until I get through that cedar one, which is gonna take a while.
Okay.
Yeah,
It comes in like a giant glass bottle. It's gorgeous. It looks like it should be like rum. It's fantastic.
Yummy, yum. Well, I'm going to be throwing my maple syrup away today.
Yeah, go get some copper shit.
Yeah, that was
Well, you live very close to Amish country, Bailey. I bet you can go to one of the Amish general stores and get really good maple syrup.
I live really close to Hirsch's Fruit Farm. Like they have the Hirsch's apples and everything, and they always have they get all kinds of supply. Plus, the farmers market down here is open again, so we
have down there. There's like a couple like local maple syrup like producers down there. So I'm sure you can get some really good quality shit instead of the bioengineered stuff you have here. Which is front fine. To God, whatever it is. What does that even mean? Bioengineered product. I don't.
That freaks me out. It freaks me out.
Food was processed to be eaten, and organic is just shit you find on the ground. What the hell?
Yeah. What am I, vegan?
Oh my gosh, it's so bad. It is getting like really scary, like food wise here in the U.S. because like we have more and more meat, and like I didn't even know that said bioengineered on the back of it. So yeah, we've like
you wouldn't think to look for it. That doesn't even sound like something you would want to see.
So when I moved to the States, I had to stop eating beef because of what is put in American beef does not sit well with me.
Wow.
So I can't even eat beef anymore in this country. So when I was in Australia,
I'd probably kill myself. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest. If I have to stop eating beef, the show will cease. You guys have to do a mortal episode for me.
Go to Europe or go to Canada and eat just low grade stuff there and be like, oh, this is what food is supposed to be.
We're buying a cow, so
my dad's a farmer, and he is very much against anytime I mention I'm at the grocery store, I'm gonna pick up some meat or something like that, he's like, he gets on my ass about it because everything he gets comes wrapped in white paper, all that. Like he knows the farmer who killed the cow, all that stuff, so he's always on my ass about going to Kroger and grabbing shit. He's like, go find a farm. There's farms outside Columbus. Go there. Like it's like, but
the quality is much better.
Yeah,
like that's how it used to be. Like that was how like the local butcher knew everybody. Like I mean, that was just standard. Like the little town that my parents grew up in Varela, like we came from hog and cattle farmers. So when I was down there this past December, like that was the freshest beef and pork I'd ever had because it was like we were literally right next to the cuttery that it was coming from. So, yeah, no, Ben and I are done. We're buying a cow. We're done.
Well, Bailey, down the road from you, I think it's like about 30 minutes. Get on to Bainbridge, Ohio.
Yes.
And go to White's Meat and Deli. That's where my dad gets all his stuff from. Anytime I'm down there, he sends me home with a little bag of random cuts of meat and shit.
Nice.
He swears by that. But,
yeah, I was
White's Meat. I just gave White's Meat and Deli a promo on
Shout
Cult Talk
out.
Conspiracy for free. Mind you, so I'll have to hit them up on their rotary phone and see if they can.
Can I get a rack of ribs?
See if they can wire us some money. Because I guarantee they don't even know what a podcast is.
That's awesome.
I mean, hey, we never know.
What station is it on?
Is it AM or FM?
Yeah, I was planning on going back up to Alaska this summer to just go up there purposely to catch just as much salmon as I can.
Please
and just bring it back down to Tennessee. But now that I got this new stupid job where I'm going to be gone until November, I can't do that anymore. So rest in peace, my salmon addiction.
Yeah, you have to find some time in there. Get your schedule plot out and cut you in a little piece of Alaskan fishing time.
This man tours too much. I'm leaving for my next tour is in Europe for 6 weeks, and I'm like, what the oh my
Jesus.
God. Yeah, so yeah,
you're always keeping us on our toes. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, Alice Cooper's coming back to Ohio, I think. So if you guys want to come,
that's a show I'd probably actually come see. It doesn't have Kid Rock involved. I'd probably go see it.
Yeah,
I would definitely go.
As long as he has opening for Kid Rock, I would probably actually humor the idea of going to that.
So. No, it should just be him. But yeah, I mean, he has a guillotine as part of his show, so what's not to love?
Yeah.
live my parents' like worst fear. Like, our daughter's going to see Alice Cooper. Like, yes, she is.
Yeah, the devout Christian Alice Cooper. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. All I'm
He
saying.
is. He really is. Yeah.
That's
He
amazing.
he leans
That's
into
so
he
sweet.
leans into that stuff just because
Oh,
it's kind of his aesthetic.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
But no,
come on
Alice
out to a
Cooper, he's-
show.
I'm
I'll
coming.
get you.
I'm coming.
I definitely am interested in that. We'll have to talk. Here, you'll have to let us know. You always do, but
Yep.
let us know.
Sounds
But-
good.
Man, this has been a very interesting episode, a very weird episode of Cult Talk Conspiracy for sure. We've
It's almost
talked
like
about
it was weird shit.
we've talked about some crazy. We learned about Canadian vocabulary. I do appreciate that you used all the metrics for United States standards instead of whatever weird weight measurements you guys use in Canada, because I would have been totally confused.
Yeah, I did. I put it in parentheses after my 270 kilograms, 595 pounds.
Yeah, because I would have no idea what that meant.
I tried to learn it, and I was like, I think I gave up.
It makes too
Not
much
very-
sense. It makes too much sense is the problem.
Yeah.
It makes too much sense. We overcomplicate it here in the United States, and now we
like it that way,
swear by that.
motherfuckers.
Exactly. We overcomplicate it. It doesn't make any sense the way we measure anything.
No.
Everywhere else in the world has the
Divisible by
proper
10.
way of doing shit.
Just divisible by 10. That's it. That's all you have
Yeah.
to think about.
Yeah. I don't understand why we did that, but we did it.
Yeah, how many
We
feet are in
stand
a
by it.
mile?
Jesus
Don't ask
Christ.
me this.
This
I know
is
how
this
many
is your.
meters
Let's see here.
Oh, are you googling this shit?
I am.
we are.
How many feet in a mile? I'm sure there's someone in the like knows it off the.
It's like
There are
3,000. Oh my
5,280 feet equal
You know
a
how
mile.
you know how many meters are in a kilometer?
How many?
1,000. You know how easy
Nice
that
and
is?
easy. I know. That's what I'm saying. We overcomplicate it for whatever reason, and we swear by it. It's like
Oh yeah.
there was no rhyme or reason. No one forced us to do this. We did it ourselves,
No.
and we look at everyone else like they're stupid for like the way they for this very simple way they measure things. It's like
I don't know.
you didn't overcomplicate it. It doesn't make sense.
Having a measurement
Like an
system
8
based around a dead king's foot is really cool. You guys nailed that one.
I know.
Oh no.
Yeah, we
Oh,
landed it. We really went there. I mean, we stand by it, which is the crazy thing.
We really do. And
That's
like
everything
it's-
with America, though.
We're stubborn.
We're right,
We're
you're
stubborn.
wrong. It's like, no, what?
We're stubborn
Yeah.
and dumb, but we're stubborn.
We're very
we are
bullheaded.
bullheaded.
But you need us to go to war. We're right fucking there, man.
Yeah, if you need us to throw meat into the grinder, we're right there. We'll shovel poor 18-year-old kids right into the war mill anytime you need it. So
It's not where
For
I
a
was
profit.
going.
you can't say we're all bad. You know,
Wait,
we have
hold
some
on.
We
good
got your
qualities.
back.
We have
I don't
some
know.
good qualities. We
I don't know if I would still consider
will
that a good
send
quality.
we will
but sure.
send our citizens right into the inferno if just at the drop of a hat
for
for
oil
other
money
for
or
for shockingly low
political
amounts
gain.
of money. That's for shockingly low amounts of money.
It's
just to cannibalize
So,
the global
you know-
south, things like that.
See, we have some positive qualities. You're
Yep.
Privatized prison,
You gotta know where to look.
healthcare,
You
and
gotta know where to
insurance.
look. Yeah,
Business first.
bioengineered foods.
I can't.
We're saving the environment.
No,
you
we're
guys
not.
Are you guys are sucking up all the maple syrup. We're just making it in labs. Once you guys tap all those reserves, you'll come calling. Hey,
All
can you
right,
send
well-
that bioengineered maple syrup?
I'm gonna go cry. It was nice to talk to you guys. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, this was
We're
a
just telling
fun,
you you're all
different
wrong.
episode of Cult Talk Conspiracy.
Anyways, go visit Canada. Go do it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Visit it.
Look at the back of the
Um,
maple syrup bottle. If there's only one ingredient, you're good. If there's more than one, throw it away.
Yeah.
Basically, that's the rule of thumb. That's the rule of thumb. I looked online. That's basically what it is. If you look on the bottle of your maple syrup and there's any more than one ingredient, it's not real. So,
No.
but now you know. So, and shockingly enough, now you can rest assured that real maple syrup has no bioengineered foods in it. So,
No.
I was just convinced that's the way it was made. So,
You're gonna make him cry. You're gonna make Essy feel like I'm never coming
yeah.
back on. Like,
Guys, I
they
quit.
traumatized me.
but this was great. This was great learning about this. Like I said, it was a different episode of Cult Talk Conspiracy, but we wrapped up season 2 of this show. Season 3 launches next Tuesday, September 3rd.
Yay!
And man, 2 years we've been doing this. Essy has edited basically every episode. I'm sure he hears us in his sleep now. And but man, this has been really fun. We're glad we could have Essy on again. I think we had you on back in last year for Cultober as well.
Oh yeah, I was on a few for Cultober.
You jumped on a couple, and I'm glad we was able to have you back. I know you're a busy man. You work into your schedule, and I really appreciate it because you do a lot for us. You edit all these episodes, and the turnaround time is insane. Half the time.
My gosh, yeah.
I'm always shocked. Bailey would be like, "Hey, the episode's in the drive," and then within the day, it's like, "Hey, it's edited," and I really appreciate that. You do a great job. You make it sound very good and professional.
You make me sound smart. That's not easy.
That's not an easy one.
You guys should see all the stuff I cut out.
I imagine a lot of ums and
I have thought about
pauses.
Instead of deleting it, just pulling it to a new file and then sending you guys just like probably 15 minutes worth of pauses.
That's what Mike does.
Yeah, it's great. I thought about doing that as just one episode.
Mike has a file on his desktop. I've seen it many a times where when he's editing, like if he edits Call of Lore or edits something with Eric on it, Eric has these really weird, like really unique Ericisms that he does. Mike cuts those, and he has this track he made. It's like a song.
Yep.
And it's like beats that he uses, making Eric's little noises into beats. And it's like this huge track. Every time he edits an episode, he finds stuff, snips out of it. It's just this living file that he has of this big long track that he's made of just beats that come from Eric's noises he makes. So
that's fantastic.
We're gonna show everybody, and it came about when Eric was like, we can use any part of anything. So now anytime they're looking for something and they can't find it, Mike will just start playing the clip.
Yeah, I'll have to have him send it to you. You would enjoy it.
Oh,
that's fantastic.
I've thought about having Essy, you cut out all of the times in the episodes where I say I'm a realtor, and then posting that on my professional feed.
Hey, in case you didn't know, Bailey's a realtor.
Bailey is a realtor. Bailey brings it up in almost every episode. I really enjoyed
the vocabulary thing you did. I think we should do that more. We should do that another time. I could do gay terminology.
Oh,
that'd be fun. And then Bailey can do basic white bitch terminology.
Where I'm going.
Well,
I don't want to hear your Southern terminology. That might be a little hard for Essy to edit. He might have to use a lot of bleeps.
Oh my goodness!
What do y'all think a boop is?
What the hell?
Bad. I mean, listen.
I do love. There's a lot of great Southern sayings, especially like in Georgia, like when it's raining really hard and you say it sounds like two skeletons fucking on a tin roof. That is fantastic. I will say there are some good ones. I will be in Georgia actually in like 2 weeks on a little vacation.
Nice.
So
one of my favorite ones, I actually heard it from Steel Magnolias, but I have heard members of my family use it, is man, she should have wore a girdle. It looks like two raccoons fighting in a burlap sack underneath there.
God, that's fantastic.
It's like two raccoons wrestling in a burlap sack is how your ass was just referenced.
My one of my favorite little Canadian sayings, just because it sounds so good with the accent, is, "Oh fuck, bud, I'm getting higher than a giraffe's asshole right now. I'll tell you that."
Gee,
that's a good one.
I'm pretty sure you've said that before.
Yeah, you can use it both for if you're getting high and smoking, or if you're on a hike and you have a gorgeous overview of a lake or something. Just, oh, we're higher than a giraffe's asshole right now. So good, so good.
Well, again, thank you for coming on, Essy. Man, this has been so fun to have you on and just hang out. We don't get to do that enough. We just send you files and work and all that. So it was really good to just chill out and bullshit for a while. Mm-hmm. And maybe you guys enjoyed it. Maybe you didn't. But we'll be back regularly scheduled programming next Tuesday. And Bailey is doing a little revisit to celebrate the third season of Cult Talk Conspiracy. She's revisiting Roswell, our first episode we ever did. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be a super interesting deep dive because that conspiracy just lives in infamy and is always evolving and developing. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be really interesting to hear more about Roswell and revisit some stuff that we talked about in the very first episode, which is very nostalgic for us to come back and revisit the first ever thing we recorded. So really excited for that. And, we're gearing up. September's here, coming up. And then right after that, we have fucking Culttober, which is going to be, as always, a hectic nightmare. And a lot of content and a lot of really interesting stuff. So, but fall's here, thankfully. We can relax and rejoice in that. But thank you guys again for listening. Thank you, Essy, for taking time out of your super busy schedule. It's insane the amount you do, and still find time to edit our little conspiracy podcast. So,
Thanks for having me.
of course.
We love you.
I think that does it for us, guys. This has been a special bonus file to celebrate the end of season 2 of Cult Talk Conspiracy. Make sure you guys follow us at Cult Talk Net across the board: Instagram, Facebook, X, YouTube, all the things. Keep up with the content we're putting out. Check out us. Bailey and I are here every other Tuesday. Cult Talk Conspiracy. Ben, Eric, and Jerry every first and third Thursday for Cult of Lore. And make sure you check out youtube.com/culttalknet for a very special video version of that for a little added effect for the episodes. They do a really good job on those. Cult of Campbell, or Bruce Campbell podcast that sometimes features Kurt Russell, comes out on Mondays sometimes. It'll probably be back here in Culttober, I imagine. But I think that does it. Go ahead and we'll just sign off. We'll let him go, and we'll be back here next Tuesday. I've been Ty.
I've been Bailey.
I've been Essy.
And until next time, question never